Once again, you are tuned into Time with Irbad Ibrahim, and today we have, as usual, a very important topic and an important guest. With all the fanfare, pomp, and pageantry that has characterized 39 or so years of the celebration of June 4, how relevant is it to modern Ghana? We will interrogate this subject with a very competent senior citizen. You just can't afford to miss it. Stick and stay with us. We come back and kickstart the conversation after this short break. You're welcome back. We are in the studio with Mr. Opare Addo. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you, my brother. How are you?
It's a great pleasure to have you in the studio today.
It's a privilege me being here.
You're a very humble man, but well accomplished. And for the Mr. Opare Addo is?
Well, my name is Godwin Opare Addo. I'm a very private citizen. Very, very private, and I'm fortunate to be privileged to be one of the 30 million citizens of this country, and I come from Edukrom. But fortunately for me, I was introduced into politics right from 1992, actually. After graduating from Nigeria, Yaba College of Tech, I worked in Shagari's office as his personal artist in Nigeria. Then the capital of Nigeria was in Lagos State, so we were in Dodan Barracks before it was moved to this thing. That is where I developed my interest into politics. Unfortunately, when I came down to Ghana, after the coup in Nigeria, I found myself in NIP under the leadership of Dr. Kwabena Darko. So I became a parliamentary candidate. I believe I was the youngest parliamentary candidate in Ghana at that time, contesting on the ticket of NIP in Korle Klotey. And we moved on. We got our name CP, then we got into CPP. And have contested close to, even the very last elections I contested because of the size of our CPP now, which is supposed to be the mother of all the political parties in Ghana. You know, because of those challenges, well, we should not be able to find ourselves in parliament, but we are still contributing to whatever we can really do for modern Ghana, actually. So I've contested 5 times in a row, you know, wow, for the CPP. Wow. The very last time was 2016. Wow. Unfortunately, we have Dr. Zanato as our MP in Korle Klotey, okay, who is also doing very well in the constituency, according to what I'm really hearing from my constituents. Actually, she's doing well.
On Zaneto, I think she's even come up with a mobile application.
I see.
That is to give, early signals or warnings to people about flood-prone areas and all that. So yes, she's doing great for Korle Klotey.
Yeah. Actually, after the elections, I found myself in a village, with helping my daddy on the farm. Actually, I've taken over the farm and I'm really into serious farming now, because we really came across a lot of debts to be cleared and things like that. So actually, I'm working hard from the farm to be able to come and then settle whatever I owe politically and then reorganize myself. So that's what we're really doing now.
Okay, thank you for that introduction. And Mr. Opare Addo, you are young, but not too young.
I'm very young.
And looking at when you entered into politics, so you are not a novice to the political vicissitudes of this country.
That's true.
And all the changes and phases we've gone through. Is the celebration of June 4 necessary?
You see, June 4th was indeed a wake-up call that really hit us like a thunderstorm. It really touched every Ghanaian, right from the south to the north, all over. But as to whether we should still be celebrating it is another matter. I believe we should really be practicing what it really brought to us, if actually it was indeed to fight certain vices in the system, i.e. corruption, laziness, dishonesty, all sorts of vices that actually was what June 4th really was supposed to have really come up with. So I believe celebrating it now, to me, I'm not too comfortable with it, because what it really brought into the system is not being practiced now. It's very far away from us. The message of June 4th today, according to what it's supposed to mean, if it's for probity and accountability, as the message really came out with, are we really practicing the June 4th message? Do we have it in ourselves now? Do we have it in our doing as Ghanaians? To me, it's quite far from us.
No, but Opare, someone will argue then we should also jettison or throw away the ideals Nkrumah stood for, since we are not clinging to the teachings of Nkrumah today.
June 4th is different from Kwame Nkrumah's independence. Kwame Nkrumah gave us total independence for us to be free to govern ourselves. June 4th gave us the right to fight corruption, which is different from independence actually. We have been liberated from the colonial rule. We have that in our pockets. But today, corruption is everywhere, according to what people are really saying. Talk of the organs of government. The legislature, we have corruption there, as people are saying, it is perceived. The executive is the same way. The judiciary, the same. Even in our social lives, look at it. Is it a shame as Ghanaians that this is a very country that some people were taking to the stakes to be shot because of corruption? That is the perception, which has really created a huge pain in the lives of certain families who lost their dear ones because people perceived they were corrupt. So they had to pay by being shot. And then today, we tune in our radio sets, we go to the papers, and we hear people saying our lawmakers have taken double salaries. If it is true, it is for Ghanaians to judge. We hear judges have taken monies to influence them on judicial issues. Those who we perceive to be known as our lords. That is the judiciary. Now come to the executive. What are we really hearing? So as Ghanaians, we really have to pinch ourselves and ask ourselves that indeed, if what all Ghanaians rose up for 39 years ago is still reflecting in our lives, then we have to judge it by ourselves. Do we have to celebrate it, or do we have to revolutionize our thinking? Do we really have to revolutionize our social life, our making? June 4th actually, to me, is for us to raise our moral attitudes in everything. But what are we seeing today? Our youth who have not committed any offense are now swimming in what you and I and other people will be calling the tramadol pool. Our youth. That means if we had not really prepared a very good life for them, why would they swim in tramadol pool? That is where Ghana is today. And it's so sad that, look, Ghana, fortunately I have traveled through some of the corridors of a very few countries in Africa. Ghana is highly blessed. Geographically, socially, everything about us in Ghana, we are highly blessed. But it's like we have thrown value of everything to the dogs. Value of our lives, value of everything to the dogs. So you ask me whether should we be celebrating June 4th. I believe it's only one man who is celebrating June 4th today. That's the former president, Jerry John Rawlings, because he is the architect of it. So if you see people around him celebrating June 4th, do the people who are around him really have June 4th in them? Or because he is the founder of their political party, so they have to quickly go to him, like we saw one of our sisters kneeling before, and he said it, today I'm the father, I'm your father, you offer me papa, this is me papa. Are we really sincere with ourselves? Are we really sincere with ourselves? So I believe if June 4th came in as a revolution, what type of revolution are we practicing today? Look at where our industries are. You earlier on mentioned the founder, my mentor, the late Osajifo, who gave us a number of industries before he was kicked out of office. Where are those industries today? It is, I mean, look at Ghana today, my brother. It's so sad. It's so sad. Let's be very sincere, let's be very honest, because we do not have any other home to call apart from Ghana. And if we are not able to rise up to really look at it and say, look, enough is enough of this cancerous behavior, let's move into another thing. I believe this is so.
Do you consider Chairman Rawlings and later President Rawlings and now former President Rawlings a national hero or a villain? How bad were things in Ghana on the eve of June 4?
39 years is quite far, and actually I was quite young. I was a student when all those things really came up, you know. But I believe I saw June 4 coming in because of anger. You know, if we had really had patience to correct certain things, I get it, mean. These are soldiers who had really taken over the reins of government. It was a military regime. They were also trying to do whatever they could really do, you know, to run the state of this country. And then our young hero also came in, who is also a military man. So it wasn't different from the SMC2 or SMC1 he came to overthrow.
And the Supreme Military Council.
The Supreme Military Council. It was a military government, actually. Fortunately, today, the army we have is the best in Africa. Looking at the quality of the soldiers, the army officers we have in this country. Talk of the best accountants, you see them there. Talk of good lawyers, you see them there. Go to the military hospital, you see the type of doctors we really have there. So if you look at all that structure, Ghana Army today stands very tall. Look at our records in the peacekeeping operations and all these things. Take it back from the General Eskins down to this time. You know, look at it holistically. Ghana Armed Forces stands very, very, very tall in Africa. I'm not surprised they have really got it to this stage, because they have really grown through the corridors of knowledge. So we had a soldier who came in. Rawlings came in as a dictator. He did all he could. But I don't hold so much on Rawlings like the civilians. He was 32, I believe, when he came to office, and around that time, you know. But we had civilians who were a bit matured, who could have really assisted him to propagate his message. You know, talk of the Ebota US, the PVO Beans, the DF Anans, all those guys, very brilliant gentlemen. That if they have really, I don't know whether he gave them the chance to really work, because maybe they knew they were around a military man. Maybe that's a different story altogether. But I believe if they had really worked very well, Ghana would have moved a bit further in development than what they really left after the military regime.
Was it that during the Supreme Military Council, both 1 and 2, what we now term creating, looting, and sharing was taking place on a mammoth scale? How corrupt was the system to warrant the kind of revolution that took place?
That's why I really said that, look, if I really had patience, because General Acheampong, may he rest in peace wherever he is, to me, is one of the strong, iconic leaders Ghana has really had. Look at what General Acheampong really brought to the table. Talk of our assembly plants, the Willowbrooks, the new plants, the Gihawk Industries. Look, I mean, so many things that
Operation Feed
Yourself.
Was he the one who built Adenta Estate? Was he the one, or it was Dansoman? He built DC, Dansoman Estate. So if he was that good, if he was that shrewd as a leader and competent, why was there this idea of probity, accountability, and social justice that
at Acheampong's era? I was so young at that time, but what I could really see was Acheampong era opened the eyes of Ghanaians into marketing. That is my belief. That is my mind about Acheampong. But you know, you give a dog a bad name and then you kill it. People gave him so many names. Women got into business, but some will also say, "Oh, that is Kalabule." I get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But women really got into business, and I saw women coming up. And at that time, you know, you could easily get what you really wanted. Buying, how much was a car at that time? I quite remember Golf was around 6,000 cedis at that time. Datsun 120Y was around 6,500. Datsun 140J was around 7,000 plus, and it was tear up. People were buying new cars at that time. I get what I'm saying. I quite remember we went on an excursion to Nigeria some time back when we were in school in a new plan bus, and on the streets of Lome, right to Cotonou to Nigeria, people were coming by the roadside to clap, seeing a vehicle that was assembled in Ghana. And when we got to Yaba in Nigeria, when we came, and that I quite remember, it was Binary Yard or so. Now, after we had come out of back from the bus, Nigerians trooped in, climbed the bus to look at the seats and all sorts of things.
So the assembling was done in Ghana.
Yeah,
new plan buses.
Attachment, you know, Kumasi and this thing. If the engine came from somewhere, whatever it was assembled here.
Wow.
That was where Ghana was at that time.
Wow.
So to me, if they're talking of corruption, I'm yet to see the number of houses Acheampong really built for himself in this country, Ghana. I'm yet to see the properties he really acquired. Those who really came out with that, this thing, and they compare it to what they have today. They are living. That is my judgment. So if I really had patience, killing them was never necessary. Never necessary. Today, I was, just drive around the Kropon behind this thing and look at General Kufuor's story building. How many houses can General Kufuor can be tied to General Kufuor? How many houses? That story building in the Kropon that belongs to General Kufuor, that I know. I get what I'm saying. Students are building it now in Ghana. So what is the level? Well, why should we kill? I don't know, actually. I don't know why the military took that action. But my question is, I want somebody to really tell me, look, Acheampong had 5 houses. He had 10 houses. I just want to know why the man was really shot. To me. You see, so I believe if we really have a true sense of reconciliation, then we really have to look at it holistically and then say sorry to those who deserve sorry, or those who deserve apologies, those who need to be compensated. I believe, we should really do, that's my belief. I may be wrong, actually. But to me, looking at what was really going on at that time, as young as I was at that time, I quite remember the preferred presidential jet we really had, procured by Achiampong at that time. And we used that aircraft for so many years before we packed it somewhere. Achiampong, to me, I believe, did a lot. So look at the Pong water plant.
It was built by Achiampong. I think Pong feeds most of Greater Accra.
Most of Greater Accra. You see, look at Operation Feed Yourself itself. It was also another revolution altogether in the area of agriculture. Where is what is the standard of our agri today? Where are we in agri today?
On this agricultural note, we go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we continue the conversation with Mr. Godwin Opare Addo. Stick and stay with us. You're welcome back, Ghana. We are discussing whether June 4 is relevant, and we're in the studio with Mr. Opare Addo. Quite shortly, we'll put Mr. Explode Nani Kofi on the phone to make his contribution. Opare,
yeah,
you were making some good points about Achiampong. Our books of history glossed over or continue to gloss over some of the contributions. So I think this is an opportunity for millennials to get to know more about General Achiampong. Was he a Kuyapim?
No, I believe he comes from the Brong area or so. Okay. Yeah.
And he was educated, or he was a dropout?
No,
because they said anytime he gave official speeches,
no, I wouldn't say he was a
dropout.
He went to straight to commercial school or so, unbelievable. I know he's a commercial student or whatever it is.
And could he write and speak good English?
Achiampong speaks very good English. Achiampong speaks very good English. You know, I was fortunate to have really been in the corridors of Nigeria politics and whatever it is. And if you look at the army generals who really govern Nigeria, if you could talk about the Murtalas, talk about the Babangidas, talk about the Bachas, even the Buhari who is there now, to me, Achiampong stands far taller than all of them. To me, Achiampong stands far taller than all of them. And I believe maybe sometime later, if real history will be really be brought up, he may have his wrong side. But what I saw about him, if you ask me about Rawlings, he came in and said, but he walked into democracy as a gentleman. Rawlings walked into democracy. He walked into democracy as a gentleman. And today we are enjoying it. He could have said, no, I'm not going anywhere. And we'll be dragging it to today. But today, look at where Ghana stands in democracy. So Rawlings, you know, because of that, he has become a symbol of honor for this country, Ghana. When others were saying, no, they were dragging the Yadimes and whatnot, were doing all sorts of, for a better word of this thing.
You said June 4.
Uncivilized things.
You said June 4 was precipitated by impatience and anger.
I believe if even the coup had been successful, the Boachi giants could have easily, kept the generals somewhere. To me, there was no need of killing them. You could have overthrown them, jailed them, whatever they have looted, clear it from them, give it to the state. So many people had their property seized, and later on it has been reversed back to them. I get what I'm saying. So if they had properties they illegally took from Ghana, seize it, jail them, and then let them have their freedom.
How many of them were shot?
I believe we shot, if not 5 or 8 generals were shot at that time. The Utukas, the Medumes were all killed. at that time because of the revolution. It was a revolution actually. So let's take it. Okay, this is what they really sacrificed for Ghana to be where it is today.
No. So Jerry Rawlings and other junior officers captured GBC. Give us a chronology of what happened. They captured GBC, and it was announced on Radio Ghana that there had been a military takeover. Well, and what ensued?
Actually, what really happened was there was a May 15th, which I mean from Madison, and if maybe they also had Rawlings at that time, maybe they would have killed him. So it was a military game. It was a military game altogether. The junior officers really understood what they were doing at that time. But I believe if maybe we have really had patience, I guess what I'm saying, if it is corruption, whatever it is, granted that today, whatever any judge has taken illegally, it can easily be taken back and given back to the state. If any politician has taken money or stolen anything from the state, it can easily be taken back from that person. I don't believe in the killing of those people, no.
So where were they shot dead? Where was the firing squad?
Teshi, right before, opposite the military academy.
The Southern Command?
Yeah, the Southern Command.
So they were shot and their bodies were thrown into the sea, or how did they happen?
No. Actually, the military really handled it. Was a military burial wherever they really buried them. I don't know.
So up to now, we don't know where the tomb of General Champon is.
I don't believe they have a tomb. I believe the bodies were exhumed later on somewhere around in Samam. I don't know. Actually, I wouldn't like to go into that.
So it was that bloody?
Very bloody. And Ghanaians were really asking for more blood to flow. But God really touched the heart of Rawlings and his men, and then they ceased. But it was bloody actually.
And Ghanaians were asking for more blood to flow.
At that time, the youth were asking for more blood to flow. I don't know how impatient it was at that time actually. So it's another thing altogether.
So, like, why would people be asking for more? They could afford bags of rice, bags of sugar at that time. There was Operation Feed Yourself. Dansoman had been built as an estate. Why were people calling for more?
We were asking for a revolution, and we had a new hero. You know, actually, if we had really had patience, to me, if I really had patience, you know, when I got into politics, I started looking at what had really gone back. If I really had patience, granted, we had patience for Kwame Nkrumah. Granted, Ghana had patience for Kwame Nkrumah. Well, where would we have been by now? So impatience, actually, to me, is what really. But the whole thing is, out of evil, good will always come. We've had a revolution. It's gone 39
Could
years
the
ago.
God of a champion and other generals be the one punishing Ghana in his own coin?
I don't think so.
No, because after people were saying let more blood flow after June 4,
you know,
we are told our mothers and fathers were stopped at checkpoints and flagellated or shipped.
Well,
people were maltreated. Wasn't that, you know, a kind of retribution from the God of General Champon?
Ghana has really grown past that. What is happening now is what is really choking us. Ghana has really grown past that. But when you ask me whether it is necessary for us to celebrate it, I believe we should be celebrating our doings now, regards the message of the June 4th. Are we really honest? Are we really serving Mother Ghana, or we are serving ourselves? That is the issue. People will not necessarily steal money from the coffers, but they go to office and they're supposed to work for 8 hours or 6 hours, and they spend 4 hours behind their computers playing games, and they close and go home, and at the end of the month they expect to take their salary.
Okay, hold it today. We have on the phone Mr. Explode Nani. Comrade, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And comrade, we are in the studios with a senior citizen, Mr. Godwin Opare Ado, and we are discussing whether it is relevant for Ghana to celebrate June 4. He says General Champon was a nice person. Why would his blood be shed for the much touted probity, accountability, and social justice, which Ghana has not been able to achieve almost 4 decades down the line?
Oh, whether June 4th is worth celebrating?
Yes, that's the question, sir.
Oh, okay. In fact, it is important to reflect over the lessons of June 4th. But the celebrations that have been taking place is really a complete distortion of what happened on June 4th. Let me quote here. The Armed Forces News, number 58, Accra, June 4 to August 4, 1979, the untold story of the revolution. This was issued by the Armed Forces under the AFRC under the chairmanship of Jerry John Rawlings. Then it reads, the first paragraph, long before Prime Minister J.J. Rawlings set his air crew on his May 15th trip, which faithfully could not get off the runway, the idea of docking sail into the head of the members of the docking sensitive members of the agency had long agitated the minds of a group of soldiers, notably within 6 battalions of infantry in the Ghana Army. Prominent among these groups were Lance Corporal Alpha Tiebo, Victor Taksiri Agongo, Mike Atinga, Sarkodie Ado, and Private Owusu. If you go down the news, it is Private Owusu who actually opened the door and saluted Rawlings that they were releasing him. The kind of celebration which are taking place now is a total mockery because the impression is given as if Rawlings did everything by himself. The man whose trip couldn't get off the runway. And the only people with him in the celebration are the members of the so-called National Democratic Congress, which I don't know whether most of them knew where June 4 came from. So, even if it was a celebration, the people who are marking it have nothing to do with June 4. The victim who was rescued by people who sacrificed their lives is not behaving as if he was the sole person who organized June 4.
Hello? Comrade? Okay, I think the line dropped. Comrade was quite vociferous. So you said Jerry Rawlings was the architect. Would we rather say he's been the beneficiary of some other people's sacrifice?
No, we were young at that time. Actually, we heard of Jerry John Rawlings May 15th. On the May 15th, there was an uprising and it was foiled. He was arrested, he was lined up, and the junior officers decided to look, let's free him. And then, as Comrade is saying, I actually don't know. We heard on the other side it was Bachijan who freed him, whatever it is.
Comrade, welcome back, Comrade. The line dropped again. Okay, sorry.
So he became a free man, he became a head of state. And then they came up with the message of the June 4th, whatever it is, to fight corruption, to eliminate corruption altogether. And then to end all coups or whatever it is. And then civilian regime was installed. That was Dr. Hilary Limann. After the June 4th to August or whatever, it was a 3-month form or something. And then Dr. Hilary Limann was ushered in as the president, executive president of this country. And he was also in office for 27 months. And then Rawlings came back again. That is how come we had the 31st December coup. But ask any Ghanaian, the man was in for 27 months. And Ghana started changing.
Hilary Limann.
Ghana found itself again on its foot.
Is this nation celebrating the wrong people?
I don't know, because you see, it's a two-edged thing. Actually, looking at, I had the chance to watch the last celebration that was yesterday of President Rawlings' address, and to me, it was far away from June 4th message. It was about the NDC. I guess what I said. So are we doing an NDC thing, or we are really looking at the reflex of the June 4th? It was totally an NDC thing. You know, if he is the founder of NDC, if there's a problem with the NDC, President Rawlings will have to sit down with his party to solve their problem. Because people are really feeling the pains of June 4th today. People are still feeling, you know, people, you know, I'm telling you, you know, at that time, at Champon's time, we had their children, some of them were amazed, Danny and all, you know, were friends, and things like that. And that pain is still there. Look at the guy like Kwabena Agyapong, the former general secretary of the NPP. You know, they also had their parents killed somewhere, all in the name of all those things.
Kwabena Agyapong's, the suspended NPP general secretary's father,
the father
was killed as a result of June 4th.
I believe it's not June 4th, but maybe 31st. No, in fact, they lost their lives in the military, that kind of something. You know, some judges were also executed and killed. You know, it was something actually in this country, Ghana. But Ghana has moved on. Ghana has really moved on. So celebrating some of these things, you know, awakens the pain. So to me, it's not necessary. Whatever it is, if it has some good things in itself, let's practice it. But we're still talking about corruption. We are still seeing corruption today in this country. After we having the office of the attorney generals and whatever it is, we still have a special prosecutor coming in and also trying to fight corruption. So where is it coming from? So you can see how weak our moral fiber is as Ghanaians. How weak we are in our moral attitudes. That is the problem.
And comrade is back on the line. Kindly hold your peace, Opari. Hi, comrade. Welcome back.
Yes, and two quotes. I hope the man will not cut off again.
No, it won't.
Zaya ENDC Secretary for Youth and Sport, commenting on June 4.
Okay.
I cannot trust no the same day that June 4. It appeared as if the uprising had failed. Ojo, I can't remember his rank, came to the goal for support. After a hurried meeting, the student leadership was not sure what to do. Oji Kamasa, then the SRC president, who later became BNDC Deputy Secretary for Sport and Region, summarized our confusion when we told the students waiting for direction. Comrades, the situation is bleak. I can't remember the rest, but the message was make up your mind, your own mind. Don't dip and jump on the buses provided by the rebel soldiers and went to Accra to demonstrate in support of the president at the time when Odake Wellington was still fighting and Rawlings nobody knew where he was hiding there. Baba Kankani, Baba Abraham Kankani, one of the leaders of the June 19th uprising, makes this comment. It seems many people are still scared of this coward called JJ. The news about him to stop now. It's true. The only coup he did was 16 May and failed, and he was caught like a rat. So I am saying that the triumphalism which arose Rawlings and the Johnny that comes lately NDC about June 4 is what doesn't help us to reflect over the experiences of June 4. There's a lot to be learned from June 4 as a nation. And that the situation which created June 4, the follow-up from June 4, its effect on the nation, I think that we can find a proper way of discussion as a nation, rather than the kind of triumphalism that the victim who was luckily rescued rather is displaying.
And comrade, Would you say that history has not been fair to some unsung heroes? Israel Rawlings, the architect of June 4, is only the beneficiary.
Not explosive left-wing leaflet. I'm quoting the Armed Forces News, number 58, June 4 to August 4, 1979. Official Armed Forces newspaper under the AFRC, under the chairmanship of Rawlings. So, it's not me. It doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter in this. I'm just giving facts.
Okay. Comrade, so this may be my last question. Some have said that the event yesterday at Social Welfare in Medina, in the Accra metropolis, was poorly attended. Is it that efforts made by people like you and others are beginning to gain roots in the mind and take permanent residence in the minds of people that we need to rewrite the script?
The fact is that maybe people are beginning to know the truth, because what I'm quoting was what was issued under the AFRC. Under the AFRC, how many years ago? 39 years ago. So it is only because for a long period of military rule, and where the only truth you hear, as I said in my program last time, is what Rawlings and the PNDC, or the leftover PNDC, because majority of the PNDC left in less than a year. So all these lies which they piled up and poison people, I don't blame people from 50 years down the drain, 50 years and less, which is majority of the population, have been so poisoned. And so maybe with constitutional rule now and the opportunity for us to talk, because most of us who are making this criticism, we don't get a look into the media.
Okay.
So constitutional rule, or this constitutional dispensation, maybe is using dividend.
Okay. Thank you so much, Comrade Explode Nani Kofi. Thank you so much for your insight on this, into this subject. We really appreciate it, sir. I think at this juncture, our viewers are free to join the conversation. Shortly, our phone line will be displayed boldly on your screens for you to contribute to the discussion. Opare,
yeah,
you and Explo seem to be on the same page that something has gone amiss. Do you think the history of Ghana should be rewritten?
Well, there's nowhere for us to really hide what has really happened. It's part of our history. But I believe we should really look at Ghana and they say how fast and how best we can really put ourselves together to catch up to the developed countries that were on the same par with us.
Sorry, there's a call. I'll be cutting in intermittently. Okay. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Fine evening. How are you, my brother?
Fine, thank you. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Imran. I'm calling you from Loku.
From where?
Your name and where is calling?
Kindly lower the volume on your set.
From where?
Kindly lower the volume on your set. Oh, sorry. Please, when you call, lower the volume on your TV set so we can hear you.
So Ghana actually needs to really look at itself. We Ghanaians should really, nobody's going to build this country for us. We really have to look at the way we are doing things now, and it's like we have thrown everything to taking foreign loans, bonds here and there, taking money.
Sorry, there's a caller. Hello, good evening.
From Italy. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you can
Hello,
make,
good evening.
yeah, good evening. You can make your point.
Okay, is it?
You can make your point.
I can make what?
You can make your contribution.
Okay. The actual. Hello.
Go ahead, my brother. Sorry we lost you. Sorry about that. Yes.
So I believe Ghana is still, we are 61 years old as a country, and it's like we are still crawling in the face of everything, in the face of plenty. We are still crawling. Look at where agriculture is, look at where educational distance is, look at everything about us. Are we really, I don't know, are we really pulling ourselves up?
Okay, I hope this one is stable. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and where you calling us from?
My name is Keti Taylor, calling from East Legon.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You can make your point.
Okay. I'm looking at it from the other perspective that the revelation itself, J.J. Rollins doesn't understand revelation, because all what he did and calling it as a revelation is just way of overthrowing the rich culture of this country and replace it with his own ideas, which have no vision or planning. Because when you look at from the beginning, that is June 4th, up to this very time that he's still celebrating June 4th as a hero, you can see that the only meaning that of his June 4th is just a circle going round and doing the same thing. But the twofold understanding of June 4th, one, part of the radical overthrowing of government like coup d'etat, we still have a revelation that also tells us of changing of mind, and other revelation that turn other countries into industrial countries. What has he turned this country to? Because when you look at it critical, you can see that he came in just to rule, but not to become a leader. Because talking about American revolution, we have sociological revolution. Sociological revolution, which brings all kind of ideas on the table for people to know which direction go. That Rollins direction, the people have no direction. The revolution, no direction.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your thoughts. Those were quite strong words. Directionless. Is that what you think the June 4 event was?
Personally, let me be very frank with you. I don't think it's necessary we celebrate June 4th. It's not necessary. You see, it's really, I'm looking at the pain of Ghanaians actually. I'm saying Ghana has moved on. I want to be very mild and whatever it is. We need to really...
So really sorry about that. Hello, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Boko. My name is Imran Amada Aboko.
Okay, welcome from Boko.
But I don't understand English, but I like your program.
Okay, thank you so
But
much.
if you can agree to speak out now.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, sir.
So like the previous caller really mentioned, if we're really going to revolutionize things, how are we going to revolutionize our industries?
Hello.
We sold almost all our industries in the name of diversity. Just during Rollins' era, everything went away. Everything. Some of our industries even became churches.
Okay, sorry about that. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Hello. You mean some of our factories
Yeah, we
turned
sold
into
to churches.
churches?
To churches and, I mean, we sold almost everything out.
Can you hear me?
Today we are talking of one district, one factory.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Good evening. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello?
Good evening, we can hear you. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Navrongo. Can you
Navrongo.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Lower the volume on your TV set, please.
My name is Kanwe Sejo. I'm calling from Navrongo.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Yes. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. The man on your studio seems to know how to settle it about the revolution. I want to find out from him whether the previous celebrations, those who normally represent, are the true people, are the members available, do they normally come for the celebrations? Is Rollins recognizing them as those who actually took part in the
Okay, thank you so much. That's a straightforward question. Are there remnants of the revolutionaries, and do they actively take part in the June 4th celebration?
Talking of those who really took part in them, no, I don't think they really come around.
But they are alive.
Some of them are alive, some of them are also dead. Wachijan was around, he's still around. And then I saw one of them, I think Tashiri or so. I think he is now a security man in somebody's house somewhere, around the cantonments area. And when they introduced him as one of the guys who really, he was also a member of the AFRC or so, I was shocked. Actually, he even opened the gate for me to drive my car in. And then when they told me he was a member of the AFRC, I looked back and said, wow, is that all that he could make for becoming a revolutionary in Ghana? So there's something really wrong. Yes, actually, because I am coming from a political background, I want to be very cool and bad on it. But
there is a caller. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Monica Cons in Navrongo.
Yes, I was just about to read your message. Good evening, Irbad, and your guest. He's absolutely right on a champion. He brought the Tono irrigation project to Navrongo, which is now a source of livelihood to the people of Navrongo and beyond. We will forever be grateful to Kutu, a champion. Do make your point, my lady. Hello?
That is it. Exactly what I wanted to say. We will forever remain grateful to General Kutu Acheampong, and may he continue to rest in peace wherever he is. Thank you very much and have a blessed night.
Okay, you're most welcome. Thank you so much for your call. Very, devoted viewer of this program, Monica Cons in Navrongo. And there is a texter who says, good evening, Irbad Ibrahim. The truth is that June 4 has changed many things in Ghana. This came from one of our viewers. There's a caller. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Your name and where you calling us from? Hello. I think the lines have not been too helpful. Sorry about that. You can try again. Yes, sir.
So I believe it's so sad, actually. It's really so sad. And it's like...
Okay. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay, please.
We have politicized every...
Hello?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Your name and where you calling us from?
My name is Mubarak. I'm calling from Kuchina.
Okay, welcome to the show and make your point.
Thank you very much. For me, I think the revolution begins in Ghana immediately because the result is there for everybody to see. We have seen a lot of countries who engage or who undertake revolutions, and they have developed into big-time economies. But here in Ghana, you can see the kind of politics that revolution has given birth to. So for me, I think it is waste of time celebrating, and it is a kind of reminding people who went through hardship at that time. So I think that revolution they made in Ghana any good. Even the constitution that the revolution gave rise into is only protecting the politicians and not the citizens of Ghana.
Okay, thank you so much. When there was a change of government in the year 2000, June 4, which was then a public holiday, was downgraded.
Yeah.
And now that people are becoming aware of what really happened, do you think there would be further downgrades moving forward?
I believe maybe one day a leader will emerge who will say, look, enough of these things, it should be put to rest. No. A leader may emerge who will say, look, this thing should not be celebrated, and anybody who assembles to celebrate it will be arrested or whatever it is. We may have a leader like that.
You envisage such a day coming?
Rawlings was a strong leader. Another strong leader will also emerge one day. It can easily happen. You may have a leader tomorrow who will say, look, this thing should never be celebrated again in this country. Like people are saying, look, people are really feeling it. I have friends in Ekropon who are related to General Akufo. You know, I have friends who have also lost. No, there are people who have really, look at Amedome. And then he took a loan somewhere. He took a loan and he was shot.
Just a loan?
Yes. Amedome could be my father or your father. He was shot because he took a loan.
In whose name? Did he use any state property as a collateral?
No, he used his own name. And he was shot. That was where Ghana was at that time. You see, that's why I said, if we had really had patience, we would have corrected so many things. And these generals who were shot could have become a blessing to Ghana today. I saw General Nunu Mensah contributing at the age of 81. It was on telly yesterday or today or so. He was contributing. And he's still one of our most cherished army generals living today. Look at the army generals we have, like the Anokwenos, General Kafia, those who are living now, the General Eskin. These are generals. Look, Ghana Army was really built on a very solid foundation. Very solid foundation. So if along the line the junior ranks decided to do certain things and then they had their way, let's look at the mistakes of that exercise to push this country forward. That is where I'm coming from. That's my understanding.
We are beginning to wrap up this conversation. Opare, you believe in keeping Ghana's economy indigenous. How can we indigenize agriculture? How can we get the youth, and despite all the slogans of June 4th, moving forward, building a strong future for posterity? How can we get the youth up and doing to rewrite the script and make our story in the next 39 years better than the past 39?
Well, I'm also a practicing farmer now. But looking at it, let's say Ghana has close to about 30 commercial banks now. If the person should say, look, every commercial bank should give him or the state maybe 1,000 hectares of farm, i.e. soybeans. Today, go from your set. Argentina is selling over $10 billion worth of soybeans to China every year. Every year. And if all these banks can go into massive not to talk of Agricultural Development Bank, but all banks should have it as part of their services to the state. They can employ almost all the youth who are loitering around to go into the farms. And Ghana can make close to about $3 to $4 billion out of soybeans every year. Out of soybeans every year, Ghana can have its speed trains. I'm sick and tired of we looking for loans everywhere. What we need in this country is what I would call DETA, deep effective thinking and application. Deep effective thinking and application. Then we can really wake up as a people. Soybeans. Today, Ethiopia, I believe, is selling over $6 billion worth of bamboo to China. You can grow bamboo anywhere in this country. Anywhere. Do you know how many tons of corn you can make from an acre? Well, we have everything as if we are just joking with everything. One village, one dam, one... No. If my President Mama had really reorganized Komeda Sugar Factory. Is it the duty of President Mahama to go and plant sugar cane? But today you see politicians dressing up nicely, coming up to television to insult him for putting up reorganizing Komeda Sugar Factory, which is a blessing to the new government to plant massive sugar cane. If you had planted sugar cane 1 year ago, fed the Komeda Sugar Factory, would have made money to even revive the sugar factory.
No, but couldn't the former president have thought of getting the raw materials before reorganizing Komenda?
My brother Ibrahim, if you set up a TV station, do I expect you to be the host and the assistant be the host, the viewer? Mama has set up a new hospital in on the campus of Legon. Okay. Is he supposed to be the doctor there? I get what I'm saying. Yeah. This is a very big opportunity for everybody to go into massive sugarcane production. But we've forgotten about sugarcane and we are insulting him. Look, Mama, it is Mama's reign time that we have a circle interchange. How many times does he drive on it? That's the point.
I think we will
okay.
In our subsequent editions we'll treat this.
Yeah.
They always say that governance is a continuum. Mm-hmm. So someone picks up from where you leave off or you left off. Mm-hmm. So how can we create that? If even your party, CPP, comes to power today, mm-hmm. it will erase and obliterate all the fortunes of former parties and build your own empire. Mm-hmm. Then the empire crumbles when there is a new government. Then we move around in circles. We go back to square one.
If the CPP comes to office today and it abandons what the NPP is doing now, I will walk out of the CPP. It's supposed to be continuous. I'm looking at NPP going to massive sugarcane planting to create jobs, to feed the Komeda Sugar Factory and even expand it.
Then who would take the credit?
My brother, do you have to take credit? We are all Ghanaians and it's for Ghana. Mama is not taking credit for anything. Is Mama asking for credit of anything? That's the point. Akufo-Addo has really come with the SHS, which is a blessing to all of us. If he's waiting to take credit for it, then he's wasting his time. Because he is really making Ghana solid. That is what it is. How many of President Akufo-Addo's children will be going to secondary school now? That's the point.
Okay. Quite an interesting discussion. I wish we had more time, but rest assured that we'll bring Mr. Opare-Addo back to the studios again. Mr. Opare-Addo, thank you so much. Thank you so much for making time.
It's a pleasure.
And for sharing these, wonderful thoughts with our viewers. Till we come your way tomorrow with another edition of Time with Irbad Ibrahim. Stay blessed and keep praying for Mother Ghana. Good night.